guys, ShartimusPrime here, doing another DC Multiverse action figure review on the McFarlaneToys Collector Edition Christopher Reeve Superman! And this is one I've had my eye on for a while, and I am very excited to have it in hand right over here. Looking pretty good so far. You get two heads, all these interchangeable hands. On the side and on the front, you can see that silver foil text going on right over there. And then on the back, you can see Christopher Reeve Superman. It says Superman right over here. Window creeps up to the top. Not much more at the bottom. So let's get to it and crack this thing open. If you're trying to get your DC Multiverse figures, you can do so at
big. Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below.
And here's Superman out of the packaging, and I have been having some fun with this figure. I have been really enjoying it quite a bit. Not a lot of complaints to give you guys over here, or to give McFarlaneToys for this. I mean, they are there. There are some things that bother me about it. We will get into that for sure, but for the most part, I have really been enjoying this figure. So let's get a closer look at the many accessories that this figure comes with, and then we'll take a closer look at Superman. So I think this is a little bit more than what I'm used to seeing from McFarlaneToys Collector Edition figures. We have 5 sets of hands over here. 3 of them are even sets: the fist hands, the flat flying hands, and these relaxed kind of grabby hands. And then you get a grabby kind of hand over here, which is just slightly different from this one. Fingers are splayed out just a little bit more on this one compared to this relaxed hand right here. These flat flying hands are actually pretty cool, even though they're kind of bending backwards. Oop, dropped one. But yeah, you can see the fingers are kind of bent backwards a little bit, which is fine. I did like having it posed with these. A little bit meaty, I guess, in the palms. I don't know. There's just something about these that just felt a little off, and I think that's it right there. This is the meaty palms. And then you have this left hand right here that goes with the hand that goes with that's paired with this one right here. I would have had that pairs with this hand over here. I would have preferred having an even set of this hand right over here. I would have liked that. And then you have a pointing finger gesture and a kryptonite holding hand right here. Which I don't remember him holding the kryptonite quite like this. I remember the little clear crystals that went into the Fortress of Solitude, but anyway, here he is holding a piece of kryptonite. Did he do this in any of the movies exactly? I just can't remember off the top of my head. Okay, so that's not the kryptonite. That's his key to the Fortress of Solitude, which Christopher Reeve actually didn't hold. That was the younger actor that tossed that thing into the snow. But did we see Superman hold a crystal before, though, right? But Christopher Reeve did hold a crystal, but it wasn't the green one, right? Oh, God damn it. Does look pretty neat, though. I did like shining a green light through it. Then you get your nice DC Multiverse standard issue flight stand over here, and the trading card looking pretty good. And there's a read up over here on the back. If you want to read it, go ahead and pause it right now. So the figure does come with 2 head sculpts, and here's the first that we'll look at, and I wanted to compare it to some images of Christopher Reeve over here, just so you can get an idea of how well it looks. And I do prefer this head sculpt over the other one, even though I am kind of curious about the gray in the hair. But before we look at that hair, I just wanted to compare this head sculpt to the NECA Toys Christopher Reeve's head next to the NECA Toys Christopher Reeve, and I don't know, man. I think I'm leaning more towards the NECA Toys version. I think I like a little bit more of that blue scuff right there. Happened from when it fell a while ago. Now this figure does have some 5 o'clock shadow over here, which isn't really well done, and I don't know, I just don't really want the 5 o'clock shadow on my Christopher Reeve Superman. So that's a little bit weird that it's there. It didn't come out looking too good. And then both heads have a little bit of gray hair going on, which I think he had in Superman 3 or 4. Did he? I'm not really sure about that. The other head looks like it's a little bit more prominent. You could see a little bit more of that gray on the side. And I like this angry one, but I would have preferred to have the screaming head, you know, when he went to do the time travel thing. That would have been really badass. But I feel like this one's supposed to go with the Chase Platinum Edition figure, the clone Superman, I think. That's what it's reminding me of more than anything else. So I feel like this is the clone head, and this is the actual Superman head right over here. Now, as far as the rest of the figure goes, I think the logo looks great. You know, it's got a sculpt to the shield, so that's pretty damn cool. Would have been nice to have some kind of shadowing for the blue portions of the figure, but you know, it's not ruining it for me. This whole thing right here with the ball peg system, it's like this should have been flesh colored, but at the same time, I'm kind of glad it's not, because I think it would
actually
really
take that back. Those joints should have been flesh colored. It wasn't until I picked up my Cavill Superman where I realized, oh yeah.
And we have this nice soft material right there for the shorts. We'll get into the articulation soon enough. And then looking at the boots over here, I like that we have some wrinkles sculpted in there, so that's pretty neat. It's kind of hard to see. The texturing of it makes them look all leathery, so I think that's cool. And then you get peg holes at the bottom of the feet over here. And then here's looking at the cape. Happy to see the yellow logo on the cape. Yeah, we get the bendy wire cape over here. Then here's looking at the back of the figure right over there. And let's get into the articulation. So the articulation is pretty standard over here. You get the ball joint at the head, and I wish he could look up more than that. Well, a dumbbell joint, you get ball there, but yeah, he will look up that much. You can't get him to look down that much. Side-to-side movement, good pivoting. We have the beautiful bendy wire cape that goes all the way up until that point right over there. So I really like this bendy wire cape. Very, very cool. Looks awesome. There's the back of it again. Oh, so awesome. Anyway, we have the butterfly joints, so they shift forward and back and shift up and down. Sometimes you can see some gappage right there, so you have to move that around accordingly. Shoulders will move up at the 90-degree mark. They move down all the way, rotate a full 360. You get the bicep swivel. You have the pinned double-jointed elbows that look ugly as hell when you bend them. Very unfortunate. We have the pinned jointer. Oh, and these don't straighten out all the way, too. That always bothers me when you can't straighten out the arms all the way. We have this pin hinge system right here, so you could move the wrists up and down or horizontally, depending on how you have it configured. You could rotate the wrists. You have a diaphragm cut right there, bit of diaphragm pivot, tiny bit of ab crunching or shifting forward, moves back a little bit more so. Similar articulation at the waist. With both joints, it'll pivot that way. With both joints, that way. With both joints, you'll just bend forward that much, which is fairly limiting, but he bends back more so. And then you have the legs that you have to keep an eye on. He could do the splits, and you could kick forward very far, back a bit. You'll get some gappage over here. When you're posing it around, sometimes, you know, the shorts will get caught underneath that, so you want to be mindful of that. But so far, this hasn't ripped on me or anything, so I'm liking it. A little bit of shifting at the top of the thigh. Wish we had actual cuts up there. And then you get these nice double-jointed knees, which actually don't look too bad. Most of the time, you know, their double joints could look really weird, like how we just saw on the elbows, but this isn't looking too bad to me. And then you get ankles that do turn side to side. You can move the ankles down. They will move up. He has beautiful ankle pivot, and we get toe articulation, which I haven't broken in on this side yet. Yeah, just on this side. But yeah, the toes just move a tiny bit, not a whole lot. One thing I forgot to mention is that the plastic has a very glossy sheen to it. I wish it was more matte. I need to get that matte spray that Robo always uses. But anyway, to measure out this Christopher Reeve Superman, you can see that it's at about 7.5 inches tall. And then for only a few size comparisons, here we have the DC Multiverse Michael Keaton Batman from the Flash movie. Oh man, would have been so cool to see these two actors in one film. And here's our Reeve Superman next to our Cavill Superman, and these two are my two favorite cinematic Supermans. And I was really hoping to see a Corn Sweat Superman from McFarlaneToys. I hope we still do. We probably will, right? The switch to Mattel, that doesn't happen until 2026. However, will McFarlaneToys still make these 7-inch figures? Will Mattel's figures be 6-inch scale? That would be kind of neat. Then here's our Christopher Reeve Superman next to our re-release of the Action Comics Superman, and yeah, it's fairly tall Superman figure compared to this one, right? And then for a Christopher Reeve Superman figure comparison, we have the NECA Toys Christopher Reeve Superman, and here's our McFarlaneToys figure. Between these two, damn man, I do like this one a little bit more. I do think the head sculpt on this one's a little bit better for sure. However, the articulation is just much less, more outdated. There is a little bit more detail here, so I would understand if you like this figure more than this one, but yeah, I'm happy with this one. Here's the McFarlaneToys Superman figure next to my very favorite Christopher Reeve Superman figure. We have the Hot Toys version right there. Thanks again, Sean Long. And this figure looks kind of like that one. I mean, any Superman figure based off of Christopher Reeve, I want to look like this one right here. So while the blues don't match exactly, and the reds don't match exactly, it's more or less there, kind of. This is just overall a lot brighter than this figure, so I guess they could have taken down the color tone just by a little bit. Then here's Superman next to your average 6-inch scale figure. We have the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. Whoa, Superman, you showed the world how a man could fly. I showed the world how a man could die. Well, you kind of did that too, but Oh, jeez. Too soon again. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to show some love by hitting that like button. I certainly do appreciate it. And if you want to see more content coming your way to this channel, well, you can't forget to hit that subscribe button. And if you want to get the ad-free early access and the live stream perks, well, you can hit that join button. Now, this figure I think is pretty damn awesome. I actually really do like it a lot, man. It does feel a little bland on the sculpt side, you know? I wish there was something to it. Like, the NECA has this kind of textured line thing going on throughout. I don't know if that's exactly what I'm itching for. Maybe a little bit of color variation on the blue portions, or the lack of shininess. The shininess actually really bums me out, because it just makes it hard to take photos of with all these white spots. So maybe that's what I'm looking for, is not see all those hot spots on the figure. But other than that, it's mostly very, very cool. I don't like the 5 o'clock shadow, so yeah, there's that. I have my gripes, of course, but I still think it's a very fun figure. It looks very much like ChrisReeve to me. I just wish they didn't try adding that 5 o'clock shadow there. I just think that's kind of weird, you know, and the gray on the side. That's also kind of weird. So yeah, it's definitely not perfect, but I mostly do like it. And at the price point of around 25 bucks, I'm gonna give this McFarlaneToys ChrisReeve Superman a sud rating of I love it! And I'd like to know what you guys think. I think my biggest gripe really is I really wish that he had the teeth gritting head sculpt. I love that part. And shoots up into the air. Damn, that would have been so sick if they had that head sculpt with this. But anyway, let me know your thoughts down below. If you want to see a photo gallery of images and the latest in action figure news, you can find it all over at toynewsi.com. And if you want to stay in touch with me on social media, you can find me on Instagram, Twitch, and whatnot. And I'll catch you guys later. Peace!
That's crispy.
Hey, new ShartimusPrime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't. Your face,